Hi, my name is Umberto Mucci. This is We the ItaliaNews, a podcast regarding Italy during coronavirus times. Today is Monday, July 13. The latest data on the coronavirus in Italy continue to give a fairly stable picture where fortunately the number of Italians who die every day because of this virus seems to remain low at the moment. Waiting to celebrate the first day when there will not be even one, yesterday 9 Italians died, 8 in Lombardy and 1 in Abruzzo. This means that in 18 regions out of 20, no Italians died yesterday because of the virus. The Friday bulletin from the Ministry of Health say that there is a moderate risk in 10 regions and 636 active small outbreaks, 107 of which broke out in the last week. This is why the government is considering extending the state of emergency for 6 more months until December 31. There is also a testing problem. Abruzzo, Campania, Friuli, Venezia Giulia and Apulia have not reached the minimum staff threshold of 1 for every 10,000 inhabitants for COVID tracking. So it is not possible to identify all the people who have come into contact with the positives. Moreover, in Apulia and Umbria there are 2 long times to diagnose new cases. The first one takes 11 days from symptoms to the result of the swab, the second 8 days. An average of 42,000 swabs a day are carried out throughout the country. This is a stable number. Of these 42,000 swabs, however, only 60%, about 25,000 swabs per day, involve new people, while the other 40% represent control swabs made to subjects previously found positive to verify their recovery. These numbers are too low. To date, only 3.5 million Italians, not even 6% of us, have received at least one test. But what is even more worrying is that after June 3, the date of the reopening of travel between regions, test and tracing strategy had been announced, but it has never been put in place. Just think that on June 2nd, the daily average number of swabs were 39,600, basically the same as today. Also, another problem is rising, made by the positive cases of foreigners arriving in Italy. Yesterday, 70 refugees from Pakistan landed in Calabria, and 26 of them were positive. 26 out of 70. This is a very high percentage, and obviously the conditions under which they travel to Italy without any protection or distance cause the contagion to be spread among them. This is a serious problem because if on the one hand we cannot leave poor people running away from hunger or war at sea, on the other hand the coronavirus makes their arrival more dangerous than normal. And those Italians who don't seem to show any solidarity for these people, less lucky than us, insist that they don't want a virus to spread because of these migrants who arrive where the virus is under control, namely in the south of Italy. On this, it is difficult not to agree. The average age of COVID-19 positives is decreasing. In the last month, the under 18 infected increased 5-fold from 2% to almost 10% of new cases. Young Italians should be asked for more caution because for them the consequences are less serious, but if the virus continues to circulate, it risks reaching the most fragile people. The mortality rate among young people is very low. Until June 30, only 20 people under the age of 30 have died in Italy. A multidisciplinary team at the Polytechnic of Torino is developing a prototype mask specifically designed for sport, which will be made available in open source mode, i.e. available free of charge to all companies interested in production. The idea was to think of different types of masks adapted to the intensity levels of the sport. The first products tests are focusing on basketball. The materials were evaluated in the laboratories of Polytechnic of Torino, and the models were worn by the athletes of a basketball team to undergo a series of wearability tests that allow to optimize the design of the mask and to verify in a preliminary way the effectiveness of the chosen materials. Further tests will follow in order to evaluate from a physiological point of view the impact of the device on the performance of the athletes who wear them and therefore continue in the most appropriate direction for the design development. The objective is to arrive at the definition of standards that can be replicated and adopted by the manufacturers by autumn, in order to have products on the market at affordable prices and that guarantee the practice of sport activities in complete safety. Earlier, I told you about the danger of the coronavirus that can arrive in Italy from some migrants, and then about sports. Today's story speaks instead of a young soccer player who arrived on a boat fleeing Africa. A story that shows how perseverance pays. Musa Jawara scored his first goal in the Italian Serie A for the Bologna soccer team. Musa is 18 years old and arrived in Italy 4 years ago from Gambia, risking his life on a small boat. After he was denied the right to join the leagues due to his minor stature, his Italian guardian angel, Antonio Summa, came to his rescue and vouched for him. He spotted him playing out on the streets before taking him into his youth team in the Basilicata region. Other coaches saw Musa play, but they didn't do anything for him. Vitantonio discovered him and is the reason for Musa's success. Just like Columbus was not the first to arrive in America, but is the one who discovered it. Loredana, Vitantonio's wife, is a lawyer and helped Musa enroll in school. Loredana and Vitantonio became legal guardians of Musa and later they adopted him. The Italian bureaucracy didn't help Musa's career, but his parents and the soccer teams that understood his talent managed to defeat all the red tape about a boy who arrived on a boat to become a soccer player according to the law. Now Musa is under the radar of the most important European soccer teams. His dream came true thanks to the heart and the foresight of Vitantonio and Loredana, true Italians. Musa is just the first. A lot of African refugees are playing in many Italian youth teams of several sports. For them, this is the Italian version of the American dream, the Italian dream. You probably know that I really like all the interviews we publish. I'm lucky more than 230 leaders of any kind were generous enough to give me their time and experience, allowing me to share with the readers of We the Italians the many beautiful and interesting things they represent, always about Italy and the United States. Well, tomorrow we will publish an interview that you don't want to miss, believe me. I do not anticipate anything, but trust me, it is really, really worth reading. The interview will be online from tomorrow and on our website, and then on the July magazine from next week. Next video instead will be online on Wednesday. Please stay safe. Please take care of yourselves. Listen to what the doctors say, the scientists say. Please do not underestimate this virus. It's growing in the United States. It's dangerous, so please stay safe and stay healthy. My name is Umberto Mucci. This was We the ItaliaNews. Ciao from Rome.